Welcome, welcome. I just want to say I have been looking forward to this conversation today because it is a busy time of year. I mean, you're busy all year long, but now it's like the crunch time. And I know that you think about the hours, the minutes that you've been devoting to working in your business, serving your clients, and taking time away today to join us for getting some insights regarding your accounting firm, how to be able to raise the bar as to how you serve your clients and who you work with is an advanced move. So thank you for joining us, for carving out that time to work on your business instead of in your business. Today's topic is earn more by packaging your accounting services. And what I see so often is firm owners, the difference you make for your clients is significant. It really does matter. But so often, your clients don't realize how much of a difference you make for them, the impact of it, and your fees don't reflect your value. So I am on a mission to change that in order for you to earn more and have your fees really reflect the value of what you do for your clients. If you find that you're quoting a price too soon and that you actually undercharge for your services, maybe your initial consults turn into pick your brain sessions, and your legacy clients, they are at their old rates and they've been there for much too long, then you are absolutely in the right place. Steve, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Lauren, I'd love to. So hi, my name's Steve Fogelman. I'm going to be your co-host today. And as you can see, Lauren and I have been married and working together for many, many years, which has been really enjoyable for me. I'm going to be working the chat, and I'll be working the polls that we're going to be doing. And if you have any questions while we're doing the polls, would be a great time to get those questions to me so I can get those questions over to Lauren. Back to you.
Thank you. And some of you have heard about my background before. Others are maybe just meeting me for the first time. So real quickly, sports psychologist turned business coach. And what I have seen is the parallels between athletes and growth-minded firm owners. And three differences that I do see is we wear those different uniforms than athletes do. We're aiming for different numbers than they are. However, the better that they do, especially at a professional level, the more revenues. So in that way, there are some similarities, but basically they're aiming for performance records and numbers. We're aiming for revenue. And then the other part of it is that athletes from Pee-wees, the very beginning, have someone on the outside that is mentoring, training, coaching them, giving them insights as to how to achieve the best results possible as quickly as possible. As firm owners, we absolutely love serving our clients. However, we don't like asking for help ourselves. And because of that, we might be able to achieve what it is that we want, but not get there as quickly or effectively as possible. So those are some of the things that I see is a lot of parallels between top-notch athletes and growth-minded firm owners. But athletes, unlike firm owners, a lot of times will have someone on the outside coaching them. Firm owners tend to be a little bit more fiercely independent and do it themselves. Also, as you can see from 2018 to 2022, I've been listed as one of the top 22 business coaches by HubSpot, and that is my Amazon bestseller, The Success Solution. Your education. What I've seen for myself, as well as the firm owners that I work closely with, is that our education gave us all the tools, the skill set to do what we do really, really well. And it also prepared us to be employees as opposed to business owners. Because of that, there are three gaps. One is how to communicate your value, having those right words to grab the attention of the right clients in order for them to know more. That could be marketing or networking. The second thing is how to price your services when you want to separate your fees from time and you no longer want to track time or charge for the hour. And then the third part is you don't like sales. Being salesy is something you don't want to do, and how to be able to enroll clients without being salesy. So those are the three things that I see is how to be able to communicate your value, pricing your services when you don't want to connect your fees to time any longer, and then how to be able to enroll new clients if you don't like the sales part. What we will cover today is how to earn more, highlight your value, and 5 steps to packages. I will absolutely give you as much as I possibly can in our short period of time together. If you're interested in talking further, learning more, I will show you how to do that as we wrap up today.
Great, Lauren. So let's go ahead and get started right away. We're going to be looking at how to earn more. But before we do that, we have our first poll question. How do you charge your clients? Do you charge hourly rate, flat fee, value pricing, or a combination? Once again, how do you charge your clients? Hourly rate, flat fee, value pricing, or a combination? And like I said, this is a great time to go ahead and ask your questions so I can get those questions over to Lauren and we can answer those during our discussion today. Once again, let's see, we're just about closing out with 1, 2, 3, and then we're good, Lauren?
Yes, we are. Go for it, Steve.
So how do you charge your clients? I charge hourly rate is 0%, flat fee 0%, value price 13%, and a combination is 88%. Wow. I think that's the first time. I think that's the first time I've seen that. That's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Not everybody's just solely the hourly rate, which makes me actually very, very happy.
Yeah, I guess the message is getting through. Well, Lauren, what are the steps for accounting professionals to increase their income without working additional hours? Because I think that's what everybody's here for.
Absolutely. It's right from the Raise Your Rates formula, which I help my clients to be able to earn more without feeling like a slave to the business. And I'm going to briefly go through the 5 steps so you get the essence of it. Some of you, like I said, might have heard before, but you might be in a different place than the first time you heard it. So sometimes hearing things more than once is good because it sinks in differently. The very first thing is knowing who your ideal or your quality clients are. That's because not all clients are created equal. In the beginning, you might be accepting everybody that is breathing and willing to pay your fees, and you find yourself down the road ending up with a wide range of clients from low value to high value. We want to understand what are the qualities of those high value clients in order to be very strategic about who we're attracting to your firm. And that goes right into number 2, which is communicating your value. That's where you have the words to be able to grab the attention of those quality clients, what matters to them, having them wanting to know more, whether it is on your website, on a profile that you have, at a network meeting, when somebody simply asks you what you do, knowing those right words so that you stand out rather than blend in. Number 3 is packaging your services. This is what we're doing a deep dive into today. It is the start of being able to separate your fees from time and to be able to earn more than if you just charge for your time and your cost. That goes right into number 4, which is value pricing. This is where we're getting away from an hourly rate or fixed fee over towards value pricing, where instead of looking at just your time and cost, we're looking at the value from the client's point of view and pricing the client instead of the workflow. And then number 5 is consultation mastery, because let's face it, the majority of accounting firm owners that I speak with do not like the sales part. It doesn't feel like it's client-centered, of integrity. They wing it. And as a result of that, they don't get the best results. What I have been teaching is how to have what I call a value conversation, where you're asking great questions. And at the end of it, the clients naturally want to know how to move forward. How does this work? No pitch or selling necessary with a value conversation. Anyway, those are the 5 steps of the Raise Your Rates formula. Ideal client, communicate your value, package your services, value pricing, and consultation mastery.
That's great. Well, before we get into the packages, can you share about pricing and why you encourage accounting professionals to separate their fees from time?
Absolutely. This is one of those things that I hop on, is that I believe that pricing for your time is unfair to you as well as your clients, whether it is a fixed fee or an hourly rate. And that is because it puts you at opposite ends of the rope. Your clients want you to work as quickly as possible in order to pay as little as possible. you're not incentivized to have more efficiency, because the faster you do things, the less that you are going to be able to invoice for that service. And the other part of it is that when you're charging for your time, then clients see you as a commodity as opposed to expertise. So it undervalues it. But let me give you one other nugget. The hourly rate. It was created about 100 years ago. And that means that the hourly rate, which is measuring time, was created before technology existed. So it is really defunct. To me, it's like having an abacus to tally up your numbers instead of your calculator. Even if you're using one of the old Texas Instrument calculators that first came out, okay? This is pricing per your time is really something that was created before technology. It doesn't know how to adapt for having apps and software that make things more efficient for you, or getting away from spreadsheets. And that's why I feel that it's unfair to you as well as to your clients.
Well, you know that accounting professionals, of course, are really hard workers, but many of them are offering a wide variety of services. Let's talk about a la carte services.
When I'm talking about a la carte services, I'm thinking about the line item invoice. When I go to your website for review and I'm looking at your services page and seeing all the different things that you do, by doing that and leading with that, it focuses on the compliance side of what you do, which is primarily after the fact. That is going to position you as a technician, a worker bee. One of my clients used to call it a data monkey because you're just keying in information, and it totally overlooks your expertise. So think about that. What do you want to be leading with when someone first finds out about you? Do you want them to realize, oh, you're a technician, you just do the compliance side of things? Or do you want them to recognize the years that you've been in the field, how you make a difference for them, and how you can help them with resolving some of their financials, as well as with moving forward in a very strategic way? So once again, what are the words you're using saying about you? Are you positioning yourself as a compliance worker, that technician, or are people, when they first reaching out to you and finding out about you, realizing the expertise and that you can help them solve their problems?
Well, accounting professionals, you know, they do a lot for their clients, and some of the work that they do, unfortunately, they don't charge for. How do you start to help them correct that?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat.
Yeah.
What have you done for your clients without charging them? And please feel free to answer that. Would love to know. We've all done things where we've given services away, or we didn't know how to charge for that. And as a result, we did it anyway without asking for any compensation. What are some of the things? Oh, Becky says, OMG, I would need a book. You're not the only one, Becky. I want to say you are in good company. But think about, what are the things that you give away? Do you give away your advice? What's in your head all the time? So things happen where you start out with a client. They are asking for you to do additional things, maybe like a one-time favor, but that one-time favor ends up happening over and over and over again, and you haven't adjusted your prices. Or possibly you started out with a client and they were at one place in their business, and their business has skyrocketed over the last couple of years since you've been working with them, but your fees have remained flat. And possibly you're doing additional services for them that you don't even realize you could be charging for. And then there's the advisory services where they get to pick your brain, but you are not getting compensated for all that expertise that you've gathered over the years. So some of the things, first of all, Becky got a thumbs up. So somebody is in full agreement with you, Becky. Lisa says, new clients, prior year tax return review, often find I need to amend them. I will let you know, I just came up with, from my clients, and gave them a way to do a diagnostic review of your taxes, so you're actually pricing it correctly. And you're not giving away the review any longer. Katrina says, big client with several businesses. Becky said, set up a payroll advice. I'm not going to say this is outside original scope. I spend hours a month with a client and they get to pick your brain. Angela Lee said, I give away advice freely, but I make a judgment call whether to charge or not. So those are some of the things that are so common in the industry. And there's ways to get compensated for it through packages. So you no longer feel like you need to add it onto a line item invoice or that you're nickel and diming something. And Christian said, I used to review their QB and provide solutions for free. No longer. That's been fixed. So those are some of the things to consider that you might be doing for free that actually have high value.
Well, Lauren, communicating your value can really feel difficult. Can you explain how the value actually works?
Well, value from your point of view and what the things that you do that you value differ from what your client value, because you're looking at the same thing, your services, from a different perspective. You value the time, the money, the sweat that you put into getting to where you are now and being able to help your clients and being operational, having revenues come in, having clients for cash flow. Your clients don't care about those things as much as you do, because think about it. What percentage of your clients are really financially savvy? And I'm going to put that in there. So give me a second. What percentage of clients are financially savvy? So think about that. I would love for you to be able to answer that as far as your clients go. But something to think about is your clients do not care about your workflow as much as you do. That's important to you because that's where you've invested your time, money, and resources. Your clients care about whether you have the know-how, whether you have the ability to solve their concerns, remove their headaches, give them financial peace of mind. That is what they really care about. And I just want to let you know, they do not care how long something takes. Actually, if you can do something faster, that has more value than when it's a long, drawn-out process. So, okay, how many percentage of clients are financially savvy? Becky said 25, maybe 30%. Katrina said 5%. Katrina, you have somebody that really agrees with you and is giving you a lot of thumbs up. Christian says maybe 10%. Becky said, LOL, I was trying to be nice. Lisa says 60 to 70% finance, but less than 10% understand the tax part. Oh my God, in my, excuse my language, but in my earlier mastermind group with my coaching clients today, we had a meeting and we were talking all about the fact that clients are not tax savvy and they all think it's easy, basic, and simple as far as their returns. They don't understand their tax responsibilities. They're not paying their quarterlies, and then they're getting that big tax bill at the end. And now you have to break the bad news to them because of their irresponsibility, even though you were warning them. So totally get that. We were having that conversation earlier. Lisa says from their point of view, it's just data entry. I absolutely get it. So your clients do not care about the compliance side, the work that you're doing. What they care about is the solutions you offer, that you're giving them peace of mind, and that you are taking some of the workload off of their plate. And something to think about, this is from when I was doing sports psychology and studying neuroscience, is the way that our brains work as adults is we're not good at making decisions when we don't have anything else that's relevant to compare it to. We tend to make decisions based on comparisons, even if it's not apples to apples. That's just how we make decisions. We need something to be able to judge it by in order to understand whether we're making a good decision or not. And what you want to think about is when someone is looking to engage your services and you offer them just one option as to how to work with you, you give them that proposal, lists everything out, the price, and then they get to sign and move forward. What is happening is they need to now decide, do they sign and move forward with you, or do they move on to some other option that is out there? So when you just give them one option, it's either yes, they move forward, or no, they move on. Now, when you give packages, you're giving them 3 options typically, and I'll go more into that into section 3 of today. And by giving them 3 options, now they are comparing, but they're comparing your 3 different packages. And the question changes from if I want to work with you to how do I want to work with you? And as a result of that, you're able to capture more business because you have different packages that meet the needs of your various clients. So once again, they're all making comparisons, but we want them to compare your various options of how to work together, as opposed to when you just offer one option and it's if they want to work with you or move on. With Karen, she is someone who didn't like having the sales conversations. Even though she has a firm with staff, she was doing a lot of the work herself. She has a niche with attorneys and law firms, and she was just having rates that were undervalued, which meant that she needed a lot of clients, and she was tolerating some clients that were really big headaches because she didn't feel that she could afford to let them go. What we did is we went ahead and created packages, as I was mentioning before, that were specifically for attorneys. And she has a silver, gold, and platinum. It's specific to them and their needs. And now they're deciding how to work with them. And because it's not based on a line item invoice and how much time it's going to be that she works on these different set of tasks for her clients now enrolling into packages, and the more efficient she is, the more profitable her work becomes. So she's incentivized to be more efficient and to be able to get things off of her plate and be able to really focus on the higher level tasks and have her staff do some of the other day-to-day operations. So just think about that for yourself. If you were able to go ahead and get some of your day-to-day operations off of your plate onto somebody else's, you were able to charge more because you didn't have your fees connected to time. What kind of impact would that have for you as well as for your firm?
Great. Well, let's look at actually how to highlight your value. Before we do that, we have our next poll question. How often do you raise your rates? Less than once per year, every year, several times per year, or only with new clients? Once again, how often do you raise your rates? Less than once per year, every year, several times per year, or only with new clients? And
I'm
Lauren,
going to go ahead and, Steve, real quickly, I'm going to put something in the chat.
Sure,
Also, when it comes to your client's business, what do they care about? Would love to hear that. And I know that you were going to say something, so I apologize for that.
I was just going to ask if there were any questions. If not, I do have a question that just came in, but I don't know. I'm going to give.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see. Does anybody have a question that they would like to unmute themselves, put in the chat, that we can briefly answer for you?
Okay. So how many package options do I really need?
One of the things that I've seen as far as a lot of studies go is 3 is what's called charm pricing. You want to have small, medium, large. I will go into that a little bit more, like I said, in the next section, section 3, when we go and look at your packages. But that is because when you have 2, people will tend to go for the smaller one. When you have 1, they're looking at, do I work with you or do I move on? When you have more than 3, it might create overwhelm for some clients because they have too many options, and they will then avoid looking at making a decision. And I'm going to just say, let's look at some of the SaaS products that you are investing in. When you're looking at their options on their website, they usually have 3. They might even be telling you which one is the most popular or gives the best value. When you go to Starbucks for coffee, they're giving 3 options as well. There's a lot of reasons why 3 is that charm number. And I'm just going to read some of the responses as far as when it comes to their business, what do your clients care about? Katrina says, how much money is in the bank and they aren't going to owe a bunch of taxes. Christian says, having sound financials for bonding companies, bank loans, investors, and to know what they can spend regarding cash flow and forecasting, that is critical to them. I'll go ahead and close the poll. Steve, you are more than welcome to share.
So how often do you raise your rates? Less than once per year, 33%. Every year, 33%. Several times per year, 0%. Only with new clients, 33%. So everybody's 33. It's interesting.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, yeah. So value, is sometimes really difficult to describe, especially when it comes to pricing. How do you explain the relationship between value and price?
And I also want to just read Lisa's comment because this is really important regarding the value conversation we're going to have right now. Most of our clients are C&E level execs. They want an expert with some concierge type service. And can I make it so they don't write a huge check at tax time? That is very outcome driven and valuable to those clients. Absolutely. Okay, value and price. I want to say it is messy because value is so subjective. What I value might be very, very different than something that you value. And let's just take vehicles on the highway. If you're looking at the vehicles on the highway, there is a wide range of vehicles out there because we all are looking for different things regarding the type of vehicle that we choose to drive. And I'm going to say it goes mainly into three different categories. It is the economy cars, the mid-size cars, and then the luxury vehicles. We're going to go with those three. Now, with the economy cars, you're going to have people that just want the bare bone basics that will get them from where they are to that meeting that they need to go to. They are not looking for the extras. They just want a safe ride. And they might even opt for those crank roll-up windows and manual door locks. So they are just looking for the bare essentials. And then the majority of people on the road have some type of mid-sized car. These people want a certain type of driving experience. There are certain amenities that they care about, whether it's the rear backing camera that's in their car. It could be navigation. It could be hand warmers on the steering wheel, seat warmers if you live in a very cold place in the winter. So you want certain amenities when you're driving a car, and that affects your driving experience. That is important to you. And then there are people that are looking for that luxury experience. Those might be your Tesla drivers, where they just drive right past you and the vehicle itself says something about them. So there's some status about having that luxury vehicle. Also, they're looking for a very comfortable driving experience. And some of them, they want the hands-free driving. They want to be able to do multiple things while they're driving and not really have to worry about what's happening on the road. So those are the three types of vehicles that people might see as options for them. And based on what their needs are, what type of experience they're looking for, they will opt for a particular category. Now, this applies to your clients as well. You're going to have some clients that want just the bare minimum essentials. The majority of clients will want certain things regarding their financials and their tax compliance. And that's going to be where the bulk of your clients are, is in that middle category. And then you're going to have some top tier clients who really want some access to you, more of those higher level concierge services or outsourced CFO services. So recognize that packages can accommodate those three different types of clients depending on where their specific needs are.
Well, if you don't like or love tracking your time, then this is really for you, because there's a fixed price for each package that you offer. I don't think this is mine, actually. I think this one might be yours.
Yeah, that's okay, Steve. I don't mind sharing with you.
Okay, yeah. So,
but
you can take it from there.
Okay, what I will say is that if you look at getting paid after the fact, which is invoicing, you're going to be tracking time. You're going to be tracking time of your staff as well. You're going to be then putting it all together and invoicing, and then you're going to be collecting the fees after the work is done. It depends on how it's set up in your firm, but it takes time. It takes time to be able to put those invoices together. If you're doing after the fact and you're charging an hourly rate, there's some time that might be connected to collections. First of all, not everybody pays immediately. Some of them are going to draw it out, or they might come back and say, how can you charge that much if you're charging an hourly rate as opposed to a fixed fee? Maybe somebody's credit card expired or got stolen. They forgot to update you with the new information. So there is definitely some time that's involved when you're getting paid after the fact. But if you want to be able to remove all that time and the headaches that go with invoicing and tracking time, then you want to look at getting paid before you do the work. And with packages, you are able to make that switch to where you're now getting prepaid as opposed to getting paid after the fact. And I'm just going to say, this is similar to vehicles. We were talking about vehicles just a moment ago. If you are looking to buy a brand new vehicle, it has more value to you before you take ownership. As soon as you sign the contract, you get the keys to the vehicle and you drive it off the lot, the vehicle immediately depreciates about 20 to 30%. So that is true when you're doing invoicing and you're getting paid after the fact, is that your work has less value from your client's point of view afterwards because it's already done, as opposed to before you do it, where there is a greater perceived need and value from the client's perspective.
Well, Lauren, what you shared, really goes into the mindset about pricing and buying decisions. And from our work with accounting professionals, many of them want to earn more, but they really don't know how to start. What do you recommend to start separating their fees from time and helping them transition to value pricing?
This is a core part of what I talk about in many different aspects. And what I feel is that if you've been charging an hourly rate or fixed fee and you want to transition over to value pricing, it's similar to learning how to ride a two-wheel bicycle. And in the beginning, you're going to be really, really shaky. You might even fall over, skin your knee, and that it just takes some time to get used to it and more confidence and finding your balance with that, your footing. So I call this the good, better, best pricing model towards value pricing. And what you want to do is you're going to have new clients coming to you, and you want to come up with that fixed fee of what you would initially have charged them for that service. And we're going to now give them your new good rate. Go ahead and multiply that initial fixed fee by 1.5, give them that new good rate. I want you to enroll 3 clients at your new good rate, which gives you some insights that clients aren't quite as price sensitive as you thought they were. After you enroll those 3 clients, we're going to jump up to tier 2, which will be your new better rate. Once again, people will be coming to you, come up with that initial fixed fee you would have charged. Now let's multiply it by 2x. This means you're earning double what you previously would have earned, no additional time spent working. You're also getting better at having that value conversation with potential clients, understanding what questions might come up and how you want to respond to those questions. After you enroll 3 clients at your new better rate, we go to the top tier, which is your best new pricing. Once again, people come into you, come up with that initial fixed fee, now multiply it by 3x for your new best rate. Doing this takes courage, not confidence. The confidence comes later. But by being able to now have your new best rate and enrolling clients at that, you don't need as many clients to meet your revenue needs. You can work with them more closely. You're working with a higher quality client who respects your boundaries, does not text you 8:15 p.m. on Saturday night expecting you to drop everything and respond to them. They are very, very respectful, and they see you as an expert and someone that can help them, as opposed to a technician, an extension of their employees, or a compliance worker. So that is how the good, better, best pricing model works. And at some point, we need to recalibrate. So your best price goes to the bottom, and you can go through the good, better, best pricing again. And the essence of value pricing is the client needs to believe that what they have to gain from working with you is greater than the fees that they are paying you. That is the essence of your job to deliver during the initial consultation, or whether it is with a client that you're currently working with and you want to raise their rates. They need to believe that what they have to gain from working with you is greater than the fees that they will be paying you. And with Susan, very, very low rates initially. She didn't want to have sales conversations. They were very, very uncomfortable. They felt slightly confrontational to her. So she just wanted everybody to say yes to her, which is why she kept her rates really low. This meant that she had to have a factory model firm, which she had a lot of clients to meet her revenue needs. As a result of that, she was working 7 days a week, 70 hours a week, even outside of tax season. It was exhausting and she was burned out, not very sustainable. So we went through the Raise Your Rates model, and this is an Excel spreadsheet where she shared with me, and I want to bring your attention to cleanup number one. She had someone come to her that wanted their accounts cleaned up, and she normally would have just calculated her time by her hourly rate, $1,500 for the project, and she underestimated projects 100% of the time, because once you get into them, you know that their financials are more complex than what you originally thought they were. We went ahead and discussed briefly what the value was from the client's perspective. We went ahead and priced it at $7,900. Because this was something that felt uncomfortable for her, I gave her the whole process and system of what questions to ask, how to be able to answer any objections that they might have, how to have them see the value, how to be able to get paid before you do the work. And she just followed the step-by-step formula, but she was shaking in her boots when she did it. She was very, very nervous. However, because it's a system, she followed it. They said yes. They paid her the $7,900 upfront for the fee for the project before she got started. And it gave her insights that clients aren't as price sensitive as she thought that they were. She went ahead and started increasing the rates on her projects and with her clients. And just with this small example, over the course of about 9 months, she brought in an additional $59,000. But the other thing that happened is no longer working 7 days a week, 70 hours a week. She's now working 3 days a week, about 20 hours a week. So just think about what would be different for you if you could raise your revenues and also cut back on your workflow and your work hours. Get your time back. How would that make a difference for you?
Well, before we get into the final section where you're going to discuss value packages even further, I've been getting some private messages about, hey, how do I implement these packages? And I know we have a free resource. Why don't you, I see you shared it in the chat, but why don't you talk about it?
If you want to go ahead and implement that good, better, best pricing that I talked about earlier and start to create packages for your clients, or maybe you already have them and you want to fine tune them, then go ahead and grab my free resource. It's at businesssuccesssolution.com/package. I put that in the chat as well, and it will give you the 10 steps to package and price your services in order to be able to start earning 2 to 3 times more than what you're currently charging for your services, and to separate your fees from time. So once again, businesssuccesssolution.com/package.
Well, moving forward, we're going to be looking at the 5 steps to develop your packages. But before we do that, we have a poll question. Do you currently offer packages? Yes, no, sometimes tried, but didn't stick with it. So once again, do you currently offer packages? Yes, no, sometimes, or I tried it, but I didn't stick with it.
And I think that Becky put a question in there. Becky, do you want to unmute yourself a moment if you're able to?
Well, I'm able to. You don't want to see me, though. It's tax season. I didn't get dressed this morning.
Oh,
no worries on that.
That's too much information for me.
I appreciate you just showing up, even if you're in your PJ still. So anyway, go ahead, and I'd like to hear more about what your question was.
I wouldn't say it was a question, but you basically saying that your client Susan basically working, 7 days a week and making not enough. I basically have that same model, unfortunately, and I'm trying to shift, in which I have been shifting all new clients to a different price package, except for I still feel like I could be very low in the industry. And so this is more of I understand that this is the direction in which this needs to go. Also scary, because most of the clients that are coming to me either by referrals or networking or wherever are still small and price sensitive clients. So to find that next level client, or try to explain to somebody that's only making $20,000 or $30,000 a year that they need to pay you, more than a subset amount has been challenging.
Absolutely. And what I'm going to do is actually have see if Christian's available, because Christian, that's something that you and I have gone through. And if you want to mute yourself, possibly to answer what Becky was talking about, that would be great. And I don't know, maybe Christian's, oh, there you are, Christian.
I am here. Okay, so I think that your question was about the price sensitive clients that you feel like maybe they couldn't afford your services, or you think to yourself, how would they be able to pay for what I'm doing? And I have a lot of very small clients, and you know, it occurred to me a couple of weeks ago that I was asking the question a lot of times, how much or how little could I allow somebody to pay for my services? But through my work with Lauren, you know, one of the things that really has, you know, been kind of a far-reaching aspect to our work together was really me valuing myself and what I offer to clients. And so to me, the value that I can bring helps a client, you know, grow their business, manage their money, you know, all of those kinds of things. So I stopped thinking of myself as how little could somebody pay for my services, and instead, you know, looked at it from the perspective of what value do I offer my services? I have 30 plus years of experience in construction accounting. I'm been a pro advisor for 15 plus years. You know, I have a lot that I can offer to a client that really doesn't equate to, oh, how little could I charge for what I do? It's really not the amount of time that it takes me to do something for a client versus the amount that I bring to the table. What solutions can I bring to the table for a client? So when I started thinking in terms of being, what I like to say and what I have right above myself right here is being a badass about my value. When I look at it myself that way, clients view me differently. And just in the last couple of weeks, in the last week, I've increased my prices for several longtime clients because I decided to stop tolerating being paid what I thought they could pay versus the value that I brought to the table. And each time I try this, I'm getting very little pushback, and it just proves to me, and you know, it's a testament to when you have that relationship with your clients and you can bring value to what they do, you'd be surprised at how much they're willing to pay for your services.
And Christian, I just wanted to ask, how long did you maybe think about having the conversation with this particular client that you were mentioning? And we talked about earlier in our group meeting as well, before you finally did that? Because
well, they've been my client, yeah.
And the actions there's a gap.
Yes. They've been my client for 4 years, and I thought I probably undercharged them when I first brought them on. But I will say for the last 2 years, I've considered raising their prices. And then really within the last 6 months, I thought, well, why am I doing this? And I finally took an analytical perspective, like accountants do, and looked at how much their business had grown and how much more revenue, their payroll, you know, the number of transactions, all those kinds of things. And she was coming to me with a lot of growth related problems in her business, just complaining about everything she needed to do as a result of the growth. And so during one of those conversations, I just said, hey, client, speaking of your growth, I think we need to also talk about that effect on the fees that you're paying for my services and the value that I'm bringing to the work that you're doing. And I was immediately able to raise her prices a total of $600 across 2 companies on a monthly basis without her even batting an eye.
I appreciate you sharing that. Go ahead, Becky, and then we'll go.
I super appreciate that. And I'm there. It's like, I'm at the threshold. I just can't step over the threshold because I think I've put myself into a position where I can't offer the extra value besides taking a call. Like, I want to offer different types of financial packages and other things, but because I have so many clients to meet my revenue goals of my company, I'm stuck with, and I know this sounds terrible, I don't mean stuck, but I have a ton of clients, which is wonderful, but I can't perform at the level that I want to for these clients. But the clients that I have aren't necessarily willing to pay more money. They're very price sensitive because
Becky, I absolutely agree with, and I am not looking to be rude and cutting you off, but I hear everything that you're saying. These are the conversations that I have with my clients all the time. We were just having the conversation, like I said, early this morning in my group coaching program. And you have what I call an upper limit challenge because you have maxed out your time, which means that you've maxed out your revenues. And that is, and you know what you need to do. It's just that you don't know the exact steps to do it. And that's part of what Christian was saying, is that she knew that she wanted to do this for 4 years since she first brought on this client. But we worked on the exact process and the steps for her to have the right approach, for her to be able to frame it correctly and have the words to be able to guide her client through this process.
Okay.
And by letting go of just a few of those clients, you would be amazed how much how much freedom that gives you to focus on the clients that, number one, value what you're doing, and number two, are excited about working with you toward those goals. So I would just say it's a gift when there are clients that don't see the value in what you're doing, and you can let those clients go. Because I mean, to me, and this is it's a whole kind of subsection of my work with Lauren, but just to have that time back, to be able to play tennis, to be able to do all those things during tax season, the gifts are far greater than just paying my bills or getting things done. And, so sometimes you just need to let go of some of those clients so that you have the opportunities to grow and expand in the areas that are going to provide more value and therefore give you that much more revenue.
And I want to go ahead and move forward because this is a very high value conversation, which is why I appreciate the dialogue here. I did put in the chat, have you tolerated headache clients for too long? Because I know that Becky's not the only one here. So please go ahead and let her know that. I am moving forward. Okay, so here are the poll results, Steve, and then we'll move forward.
Great. So do you currently offer packages? Yes is 38%, no is 25%, sometimes is 38%, and I tried to, but I didn't stick with it is actually 0%.
Perfect. And let's move on. So you're on, Steve.
Yeah. So what do you need to consider when developing packages for your clients?
These are some of the things to think about is who is the package for? Because as I was explaining before with the vehicles, different clients have different needs depending on where they are in their business. So that's something to think about is who is the package for, what's important to them. That goes right into the next part of it is what is the problem? This has nothing to do with the task in your workflow. What is the problem that each package would solve for your clients, which I'll go into a little bit more in a moment. And the third part is, as Christian was talking about with her client, how does your client benefit from moving forward with you in this particular way? So those are some of the things you want to think about is starting with the end in mind and looking at who each package is for, what problem it solves, because different clients have different challenges depending on where they are in their growth evolution, and then looking at the benefit of them enrolling into that package. The other thing is that there are some benefits to offering packages instead of a la carte services. One is improved efficiency. As I said before, the more efficient you become, the more profitable your work is. And that is really important, is disconnecting your fees from time. The next thing is that you no longer need to invoice clients. You can actually get prepaid for your services, which is when your value is highest. And also it improves your cash flow because you're no longer chasing money. The third thing is because you're getting paid up front, you're getting paid in full. You no longer have to negotiate your services or justify why your invoice was that high. Number 4 is a solid work agreement that outlines the scope of the work. And because we have that solid work agreement that is actually outlined in your packages, it is going to give you a solution for scope creep. So those are some of the benefits of offering packages. And I'm going to quickly go through how to start moving in that direction of packaging your services. The very first thing is you want to know who your ideal client is. Maybe it's a particular type of person you work with, a particular persona. There's characteristics of those clients versus headache clients. The other part is, do you have a niche? Do you have a specialty? There's a difference between the two. The niche is who you serve. The specialty is the problem that you solve. So a niche could be in the housing industry. But if you look at housing industry, there's a very different list of demands for people in construction versus realtors. So that is something to think about is there a particular niche that you focus on? And then the other part of it is the specialty. Do you do tax resolution? Or possibly that you just geek out over Nexus and sales tax, or helping your clients forecast for their particular growth strategy. So think about what is the solution that you offer your clients. And it could be a niche, it could be a specialty, it could be a combination of both. I have a combination of both. I work specifically with accounting professionals on how to price their clients, price their services, and how to have those enrolling conversations. So you're building a firm based on value as opposed to workload. The second thing to think about in packaging your services is identifying your clients' hurdles. What are the challenges, the frustrations, the things that are keeping them stuck that you are able to solve for them? And this way, you can go ahead and mindfully create packages that solve those specific hurdles that your particular clients have, depending on what it is that you want to do for them and what they need. So think about what are the different challenges that they have when they're first reaching out to you. Or maybe you've been working with someone, and as people are growing and moving forward with you, what are the next level challenges that come up as well? Because with any particular client, there's going to be a problem. You can offer a solution. As soon as you offer a solution, there is a new problem that you can offer that next solution for. I see it like laundry. As soon as you do a load of laundry, somebody else is throwing their dirty socks into the hamper. So it is an ongoing process. Number 3 is listing your various services. So this is where we're going to go ahead and get out our spreadsheets or open up a Google sheet and just do a brain dump of all the different services that you offer your clients, the ones that you're compensated for, the ones that are requested that you do for them, as well as the ones that you do for them that you are not being compensated for. But go ahead and just do a brain dump and put everything on that spreadsheet. After that, we're going to go to having tiered service offerings. This is looking at Amex cards. Amex cards know that. Go ahead, Steve.
I just wanted to say, how does the American Express approach this value equation? Because I know that they certainly do.
What I would say with American Express is, first of all, they have more than one type of member, and they know it. They have a lot of tiers, but I'm just going to take 3 common ones. The green card is the very basic card that lets you be a member. It lets you have Amex services, but it's just the most basic. It's about $97 a year to be able to have a green Amex membership. And then there's going to be the most common one, which is the Amex Gold. The Amex Gold has great travel benefits. It has some other things that clients deeply value. And as a result of that, most of their clients are going to be at that gold membership level. And that's about $250 a year. And then there is the black card. The black card is the most difficult Amex card to get because it is by invitation only. And you have to show income of $1 million or more per year in order to be invited to have a black card. Because that, it's $5,000 a year, and this is for a credit card we're talking about. But you get concierge services. You are on priority speed dial and have things done for you that are not able to be done for any other level of the American Express cards. And also, when you flash that black card at certain places, it has prestige. People know what it is. It's like driving a Bentley down the road. People look at it and notice it. So there's a certain amount of status with it. And once again, you have clients at all three levels. You have the green, which would be the silver packages. You have your gold level clients. And then you have your diamond level clients, which would be similar to the Black American Express card. And this is where we go into your packages. You want to, once again, as I've been talking about, have the silver, gold, and diamond level packages. They are tiered, just like in the American Express card, where the silver package is the fundamentals, the basics, the essentials. This might be for someone that just want to have up-to-date, accurate financials in order to be tax ready. They don't want all the bells and whistles or need them. And then the gold will have everything but from the silver, plus more. Most of your clients will be in the gold. This will be for clients that want to have the up-to-date financials. They want to be knowing what their financials are as they're making business decisions, because they know that they make better business decisions when they're checking out their financials and checking in with you than when they are winging it and doing it on their own. So they know that their numbers matter. They just don't want to be the one spending the time inputting and managing their financials, but they care about their financial health. And then the diamond package will be premium services. It could be outsourced CFO services. It could be clients that need advanced tax strategy or maybe tax shelters. And they really need something that is done for you, where they have a lot of access to you because there's various complexities, and they know that access to you and your insights and your expertise is going to be a wise investment. So those are the various packages that you can offer your clients too, in order to have different clients for the different needs that they're offering. And now they're deciding how to work with you, as opposed to just giving them one option where they work with you or they move on. And this is the last thing I want to say is with Leanna. She was working with a wide range of clients, but she found that she was missing out on family activities. She would put the kids to bed and then run back to her computer, do some more things because somebody called her during the day and hijacked her whole day, so she didn't have any boundaries with her clients. And it was not just taking a toll on her, it was taking a toll on her family also. What we did is we focused on her niche. And not all my clients have a niche or a specialty, but it's helpful when we decide on one together. So she went ahead and focused on the restaurant niche because she had 20 years of working in restaurants prior to then. And we created a silver, gold, and platinum that was specific to them and their particular needs, because a lot of restaurants have seasonality, which means that they have ebbs and flows, or they have high turnover with their wait staff and their kitchen staff. So, and they have a cash business, which makes them open to fraud. So we came up with those packages. And as a result of that, it solved their specific needs. She was able to charge more. She worked with a better client, and it gave her her life back, and also allowed her to become more efficient because of the fact that she was focusing on a specific client that had similar needs across a continuum instead of a wide range of clients. And she allowed me to share this with her for modeling and inspiration. However, it is proprietary to Vienna, so please do not copy it.
Well, what we covered today was how to earn more, highlighting your value, and 5 steps to packages. And yeah, I think we did cover quite a bit of that. Now, the next thing is we have a next poll question, or do you want to go ahead and skip that?
No poll.
No poll.
We are going right to the wrap up because it's tax season and it's top of the hour.
Okay. Well, then just go for it.
Oh, basically, if you feel, first of all, I just want to acknowledge you took time away from working in your business. It is a busy time of year right now to join me, work on your business, get that one tip that you can immediately implement, an insight that kind of opens up the doors to new possibilities from you. If you felt that you got value from our short period of time together, then please go to businesssuccesssolution.com /let's talk. I put that in the chat, and let's have a complimentary dedicated path to profit strategy session. It is where we're going to have a conversation about you, where you are, what you want to achieve, and how to be able to make that happen. And if that appeals to you, you've been thinking about this for a long time and you are just ready to get it done, then once again, go to businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk. It does have a $500 value. However, it is complimentary for being part of my community. I appreciate you. And I did put 4 slots available aside. So I want to say thank you so much for meeting with me today, showing up, being present, engaging in the conversations. I appreciate you, what you're doing, and how you serve your clients, because you are making a difference and you ought to be squarely on the path of building your dream firm. And I'd love to talk to you about how to do that. Talk to you soon. Take care.